How's it going, YouTube? Right, as you can see, we're back on the camper again today, and I've broke out the Victron Energy Solutions top for this one because we're going to be working on the electrical system. We've got something super interesting to look at today. The keen-eyed among you will notice that I have already fitted this device months ago as part of the electrical system, but I've never been able to use it because the one that I fitted was a pre-production model, and now we've got the actual production model. So we're going to swap it out and get this working. It's a super useful little device. We've got to look at the DC4 Smart Switch by Energy Solutions. I want to thank Energy Solutions for sending me this one. I got the whole electrical system for this van from themselves, so they can supply everything you need for your electrical system and your electrical needs in your van, boat, or whatever your off-grid needs are. They've spent a couple of years developing this smart switch, so I think we need to have a look what it does. This is designed for your Victron system, specifically for the servo. Looking at the servo, at the top left-hand corner, look, we've got this little button here, and this gives us like a relay 1 and a relay 2 output. Currently, I've got relay 1 wired up for the water pump. If we go down into settings, and then down at the bottom there, look, we've got relays. We've got relay 1 and relay 2. These are your only digital outputs on the Victron system. And one thing that the Victron system is seriously missing is more outputs. Those relay outputs are good because they can be tied into other things like temperature sensors and stuff like that, so they can kick in and do things like start generators, start tank heaters and things like that. But one thing that has always been missing on the servo is just some general switched outputs. I still like physical switches for things like lights, but when you've got other things that you need switching on and off, like for example the water pump, you don't want switches and things like that lying around. What you want to be able to do is turn them on and off in software from the Victron screen. And I've been after for a long time literally just another page that's got some switches to turn things on and off that I don't want physical switches for being seen on display all the time. Energy Solutions, with their smart switch, I've come up with a solution for this. This will give your servo an extra 4 additional outputs on another screen. Let's open this up and have a quick look at it. Right, so opening up this box, we've got a little quick start guide there in the top. Inside, we have got the device itself. Let me move this packaging out of the way and we can have a quick look at it. Right, here we are, the Smart Switch DC4. On this side, we've got the power input. This is 8 to 32 volt DC. And down here, we've got the 4 output channels, which is giving the positive and negative output for each channel. And over at this side, we've got the VE CAN input for the servo. On my particular setup, I'm coming out of the servo with the VE CAN, going into the Multi-Plus 2. I'll be coming out of the Multi-Plus 2 into this system here, and then the terminator block will go on the final one because this is the last one on the VE CAN circuit. And then that will allow this to talk directly with the servo. As you can see up here, we've got some physical buttons as well for the 4 channels, just in case you need to turn them on and off manually. This is good for when you're testing, during the installation phase. The 4 outputs themselves are of a maximum of 5 amps each, with a total of 15 amps continuous across the 4 channels. So turning on things like water pumps and probably a few lights and things like that is exactly what this is made for. This system is designed to be literally just a kind of a plug and play. So as soon as we've plugged it into the servo via the VE CAN, it should automatically be recognized on the servo itself. So we'll test that in a minute. The digital outputs themselves for these, there's different ways you can configure them. They can even be a latching circuit, just like a normal switch. There can be a momentary circuit, so if you press in the button and let go, it turns on when you press in and then turns off when you let go. And also, they're like an analog output as well, so they can be used as a dimmer. So you can turn them on and then turn it up and down like a dimmer switch. Good for lights if that's what you wanted to use it for. And also remember, anything that is wired up to this can be accessed remotely via your VRM. So that makes things incredibly useful if there's certain things that you want to turn on and off remotely. My own personal use for this is using it to switch things on and off, which I don't want a physical switch on show for. For example, the water pump. So today we're going to install this. I'm going to wire up the water pump to it, take that off that relay circuit that I've already got it on, and get it on a proper designated switch for the water pump. Right, so let's get in the back of the van, let's get open the electrical cupboard, and let's see how we're going to fit this. I've actually already got one in there, so what we'll do is we'll take that one out and we'll put this one in. Right, so here we are in the back of my van. This is my electrical installation, full Victron unit if you've not seen it before. If we press this little knob here, that releases that and allows me to remove all this front panel. So let's get it all open. Right, to get to the wiring behind, I've got some little buttons there. I've got one there, one at the other side of the multi-plus. Press all three of those. Then this front should all fold down. And then that'll give me the access to everything behind. And what we can see in the back corner there is one of these smart switches already fitted. This wire here coming out the bottom, this is a temporary wire for the water pump because I wired it to the relay output while I was waiting for the final version of this to come out because this one doesn't work. So what I'll do now is we'll take this new one, we'll swap out those two units, and then we'll go and have a look at the servo and see if it shows up. Down at the bottom, look, there you can see that's the VE CAN cable coming in, and we've got the termination block on the other side because this is the end of the circuit. Right, I'm going to get these swapped over and I'll see you back in a second when it's wired up. It'll probably look the same anyway. There you are, that's the new one fitted, and over here in channel 1 I've wired up the water pump. Now it's all powered up. If I press this, that manually turns on the water pump. I can hear it clicking. Let's go in and have a look at the servo to see if this is showing up. Oh, actually, one quick thing before we go and check the servo. While I'm here, I've done a little bit of rewiring in here, look. I've taken off that Victron 12-volt charger that was there charging up the vehicle battery. Because at the time when I wired all this up, I didn't realise the Multi-Plus 2 has got a little output on the bottom for a trickle charger for a second battery. So what I've done is the 12 volts that went to this charger here for the vehicle battery, I've taken that wire and I've rerouted it round and I've plugged it in fused into that output on the bottom of the Multi-Plus 2. So the Multi-Plus 2 will trickle charge the vehicle battery all the time and keep it topped up. And then what I've done with this space, as you can see, look, I've fitted another MPPT there because I had one spare. I've not wired it up or anything yet. We can do that later on. Because what I'm thinking with this is I'll get another 400 watt of solar on this. What I might do is fit a little plug in the side of the vehicle. So one of those little portable fold-up panels that I've got, when I want some extra solar, I can plug that in on the outside and point it towards the sun. Oh, that's what I'm thinking. The other thing is I give you a little bit of misinformation when I was talking about the VE CAN. Whilst I was doing this bit, I realised that the Multi-Plus 2 is plugged in on the VE bus. Just there, look. The VE CAN, that goes from the servo to the Lynx Smart BMS, and then out of the BMS to the Energy Solutions switch, and then it's terminated at the switch. So I just thought I'd put you right with that bit of information there, how I've got it plugged in. Right, let's go through to the front of the vehicle and check on the servo and see if we're now seeing that smart switch. Right, we're in the van. If I tap the screen, we get all the menus up across the bottom. You'll notice now in the top left corner, look, we've got two buttons. You've got the normal one. If I press it, that's the one that's got the inverter controls and also the relay switches. Now we've got this new one. If I press that one, this now gives us our smart switch display. Also, if I come back out, look, if we go into settings, across to devices, down here, look, you'll see Smart Switch DC4. In that smart switch menu, we can start modifying and changing things to do what we want to do with this switch. At first, this switch didn't work, and rather than just carrying on showing how it works and everything else, let me show you the problem that I came up against just to make sure that nobody else comes up against it as well. It's not really a problem, it's more of a prerequisite to use this device. One of the things we need to make sure to use this device is if we go back out into settings, general, firmware, we need to be running at least version 3.6 or newer. Depending on when you're watching this video, currently version 3.6 is not out as a final release. This is only a beta release, but it is due any day to be released as a final release. You might be looking at this video even later, and it might be on a later version anyway. But what you need to do is make sure your device is updated to 3.60 or newer. How we do that is if we go into online updates there, I've got beta release turned on. Let me just turn that off. If all you do normally is you go in here down to press check for updates, and then it'll say this is the latest version. This is 3.55 is the latest official version. If 3.6 has been released, you'll be able to download it there. If it hasn't yet and it's still on beta, if we go in there, look where it says update feed, change that to beta release, press to check again. Mine says is no newer version available because I'm on the latest beta release, which is 3.60, version 78 of that beta release. So make sure you've got your firmware updated, or else the smart switch won't show in your devices, and it won't show this extra button up there unless you're on the 3.60 or later. Just thought I'd share that because it saves a phone call to support if, like me, you plug it in and it does nothing. Now I've updated, now it's working fine. Let's have a look at it. If we press this button to go into it, what we can see there is we've got the smart switch and we've got the 4 channels. So there's numerous different things we can do with this. If we go into settings, device settings, find the smart switch, and then scroll down to setup. What we can see there is we've got the 4 channels. We can call the actual switch itself a custom name, and we can go into each individual channel look and tune it how we want to be. We've got a custom name. We've got a group. We'll have a look at those in a short while. We've got the switch type. In the switch type, you've got momentary, latching and dimmable. We'll have a look at all those soon as well. We've got a little show controls on and off toggle and a fuse rating. Each output was a maximum of 5 amp, but what you might be doing is you might want to protect something that needs to be rated at less than 5 amp. So what this can do is we can protect that device via software. So if we want to set the device at, say, 2 amps, so it's tripping out in software at 2 amps, then we can do it via that, which is a good little feature, so we can protect things that are plugged into those outputs. We're in channel 1. If you remember, we wired up channel 1 to be the water pump. So if I call channel 1 water pump, what we need it to be, the type is we want it to be latching, because we want it to switch on and off. And momentary, obviously, is if you press it and it turns on, you let go and it turns off. Dimmable, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Right, so if I come right back out and we go to the switch screen there, what we'll see is channel 1's moved down to the bottom, look, because now it's got a name. It keeps these switches in alphabetical order. Water pump has appeared down at the bottom, look. So if I pull this back, let's move this across, let's open up the tap, let the pressure run out. If we press the water pump, that should turn it on. There you are, look. And then we can turn it off again there. And there's some other pretty interesting things we can do with this. Into devices, back down to the smart switch again. If we go into setup, back to water pump look, what we can do is we can start using the grouping. So if we call this, say, for example, services, press enter, come back out. Now we've got a group called services. So if we've got anything else we want to put in that group as well, we can. We just call it services. And then what that will do is if we come right back out, look, into the switches, and what it's done is it's separated them up now. So we've got this group here called services. So we can move more things into that group if we want. And we can create multiple groups for other things. So I think what we should do is let's do something interesting with this group here and call it something else. So I think what we should do is you see these lights here. I've got them on these switches here. I want them there because it's nice and easy. When I open this door, I just literally just reach up and switch these lights on. I want to keep them on those switches. But one thing I would like to do is if I wire the power that's going to these switches through the smart switch, what we can do is we can use the dimmer function. And then we can dim these lights down using the servo display, which I think will be an awesome feature because sometimes these lights are a little bit bright. So if we're wanting just to chill out a bit at night, not have it so bright, what I can do is I can dim it down on this panel. So I think we need to do that. Oh, one more thing I need to mention while we was looking at all those groups and switches and things like that. I confirmed with Energy Solutions earlier that you can piggyback these smart switches. So obviously having one of these boxes, it gives us the 4 outputs, but because it's on the VE CAN, and you can literally daisy chain the network through. They've tested multiple switches, all daisy chained in a row, to give multiple outputs. So every smart switch you get extra, you've got an extra 4 outputs there. So it's literally one touch to turn the screen on, and then another touch to press the little switch icon in the top left, and then you've literally got all your switches there in front of you. So if you want, you can have a really, really clean setup with no physical switches anywhere, and literally everything can be switched on and off and controlled by software, and you can control it remotely as well. We'll have a look at that in a bit. So let's have a look at these light circuits and see if we can do something interesting. Right, so if we have a look in the back here, what I've got is this fuse box here, these 3 fuses here on this side, there for the lighting. I can't remember which one's which, how I wired it up inside. So what I'll do is I'll pull the fuses, I'll figure out which is which and which ones I need. And then what I'll do is these powers here, I'll take them off of this fuse and then I'll wire them into these channels over here. So I'm going to do that now and then we'll come back and have a look. Right, so I've taken 2 lighting circuits off of there. The third one I couldn't because it draws more than 5 amps. I could switch it on and off via a relay, but for the dimming, I couldn't use it because it's more than 5 amps and this is 5 amps a channel. So what I need to do later is do some rewiring of the light switches inside. But for now and for the purpose of today, I've moved 2 lighting switches over, look, one onto channel 2 and one onto channel 3. So let's have a look what that's done for us. Right, so I've just set this up and I must say I'm super impressed with it. Let's have a look what I've done. Right, so the 2 circuits that I wired up is one is these 2 white strip lights here. That's one circuit. And the second circuit is the kitchen lights there. And this light here. I wanted to be able to dim all these ones as well, these orange accent lights. But what I've done is I've got them all wired up to the same power, which is every one of them all turned on at once is pulling about 11 amps. So what I need to do is I need to split it up, probably between the ones in the front and the ones in the back over here. If I split them out, then I can make them dimmable. So that sounds like a bit of a job for later. But these are the 2 circuits that I've got wired up to channel 2. I've got this one on channel 2 and channel 3. I've got the kitchen lights. Let's have a look at the display and see how I've set it up and see what it does. Right, so if we go into devices quickly, down to smart switch, what you can see here, look, is I've got channel 1 water pump. That's on a latching switch. Channel 2 I've set up for the ceiling lights, look. I've set it here to be dimmable. It's currently switched on at 100% power and it's pulling 3.3 amps, look. The kitchen light there, that's on channel 3. I've set that up as well as dimmable. Currently that's switched off because when it's on it reflects on this screen, so I've just left it off for the minute. If I go into setup there, what we can see is I've set up 2 groups there. We've got one group is services and that's got the water pump, and the second group is lights, look, and I've put channel 2 and channel 3 on there. I've left these all at the default 5 amps because that's perfectly fine, to be honest, with what I've got going through it. Channel 4, I've just left that blank now because I've not set it up to be anything. So if we come right out and we press the little switch button in the top left, what you can see now is we've got our 3 tiles. One is the lighting group, look. The second one is the services group, and the third one is literally, that just says smart switch DC4 and channel 4 because we've not set that up. So what you can see now is if you daisy chain more of these smart switches together, you can start getting nice sets of switches on these tiles, so you can literally set up your entire system all into these convenient groups of switches, so you can control everything from this screen. But if we go back to the first one, look, you see there, the lights, I've set those up to be dimmable. If I press on now on the kitchen, you see that switches it on. And then what I can do here is where these 3 dots are, I can press that and I can slide it backwards and forwards to dim it up and down, look. And you can, hopefully you can see that doing it. If I show you the ceiling lights as well, there's my ceiling lights. Let me just turn off those orange ones. So if you can imagine, it's night time and I want a really little bit of light just to light up the camper. So what I can do is I can use this dimmer slider and literally slide it right up and down, look, right down to a minimum there. And then that'll give me just a tiny little bit of light for what I want. And obviously dim down will be saving power as well. If we just have a quick look, 1 second, we go into devices there, down to smart switch. We'll see, look, the kitchen lights at 100% are pulling 1.9 amp. The ceiling lights is pulling 3.4 amps. Let's dim these down to about 50%. And then we'll see on the energy meter that we're pulling considerably less power. Back to the switch, look. There you are, look, at 47% power, we're now pulling 1.4 amps, 53%, we're pulling 1 amp in the kitchen. So that is a good way to save energy as well as comfort lighting. So I'm super pleased with this switch and how this has worked out. This was the one thing major that Victron was missing off of their systems. We can control all this remotely as well through the VRM. Let's pull it up on my phone so you can see. Right, there's my VRM for this setup. What you can't do is if we press this button here, this has just got the normal relay outputs and stuff like that. So from this screen here, you cannot control the switches, but one thing you can do is if I go down here, go into remote console there, that'll load up. What it'll do is it'll give us a mirrored console there. As you can see there in the top left, we've got the button for the smart switch. So if we press that, we have got the buttons there. So if I can turn the kitchen light on and off with my phone, just as though I was operating this, and we can dim it as well. So I can turn my water pump on and off. So if I'm away and I think, oh, I forgot to turn my water pump off, I can check on this and then I can turn it off. And obviously all this can be done remotely from anywhere in the world. So depending on what you wire up to this smart switch, this could be super useful. So as I've said, all the electrical distribution on this camper van I got from Energy Solutions. So don't forget to check them out for this smart switch, as well as any of your other electrical needs, especially if you're wanting to go off grid like me, because their consultation service as well will really help fine tune what you actually need in your setup, whether it be a camper van, boat or anything like that, or even just an off-grid house. I'll put some links down below to this smart switch so you can go directly to it and have a look at it for yourself. So I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see some more things on this camper and other general things that I do on this channel. Comment below anything you want to comment. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and I will catch you in another video. Cheers. I'm really impressed with being able to dim my lights like this.